April is actually stacked for VR this month. We've just had the VR game showcase and a bunch of games got announced. We've got horror games, a demolition derby, a dungeon crawler, a sandbox that's basically Gary's mod for VR, and a boomer shooter that makes you feel like you're playing Quake in real life. So here's everything dropping in VR this April that you should know about. Let's get into it. Kicking things off with a chaotic one, Space Control came out on April 1st, and no, it's not a joke. In this game, you've been abducted by an intergalactic megacorporation called Glorpo Inc., and now you have to work off your debt alongside your alien crew, which means abducting new recruits, babysitting alien babies, and cooking up questionable space snacks. And it looks weird, which is exactly up my alley. It kind of looks like a mix between Rick and Morty and Job Simulator, so if you're looking for something silly to jump into with a friend, this might be your game. And this one is available on MetaQuest and Steam, and it's available now. And just a reminder, you can use code Naysy on any of your Quest games to get 10% off. Now, this one might start to show your age. Wrath Aeon of Ruin is a 90s style boomer shooter, kind of like Quake, with fast movement and absolutely no hand-holding. And the team at Flat2VR and Team Beef have brought this game to VR, and they've called it the Brutal Edition because apparently the original wasn't brutal enough. So they've cranked up the gore and added a new slide mechanic that gives you more incredible sense of speed. And of course, it's built around that kind of movement that old school shooters deliver on. It definitely looks gritty and fast, so we'll see how my motion sickness goes with this one. But I love Quake, even though I'm terrible at it, so I'm curious to try this one in VR. This one drops on April 9th on Quest, PCVR, and PlayStation VR2. Now, one game that just came out on April 2nd is Beat the Beats, and they are the sponsor of today's video, because I think they know I'm a big fan of VR rhythm games. Beat the Beats is a rhythm boxing game where you're throwing boxing style punches, jabs, uppercuts, and hooks all in time to the music. It definitely leans more into your boxing style of gameplay, so it's definitely a workout. The main standout of this game is the visual style. It has like a clean, almost geometric 80s aesthetic, kind of like Tetris effect. And what's cool in this game is you can unlock different music genres and the environment changes with it. This game does have scoring and leaderboards, but the fault system is a bit different. You only get 5 incorrect moves, which definitely makes it challenging at the higher level. There's also a fun daily mix challenge where you play a segment of a few songs, and I can see myself playing this regularly. So if you've been looking for a VR workout that doesn't feel like a workout, make sure to check out Beat the Beats. The link is in the description. Okay, darts in VR. Sounds kind of boring, but hear me out. Darts VR2 Bullseye isn't just a dart sim. So yes, it's got your classic 501 mode with finely tuned physics that actually make the darts fly like darts, but it also has a zombie mode where hordes of undead are coming for you and your only weapon is a dart. There's also a kill streak arcade mode where the dartboard literally comes alive with each hit, and I'm a sucker for a silly concept game, so I'm completely sold on this one. There's also a 16-player esports with league and voice support, so if you've ever wanted to compete in darts at a competitive level without leaving your house, there you go. This game drops on April 9th on Quest, PlayStation VR2, and Steam. Now, this one is a bit different, and I think people are going to sleep on it. The Amusement is a narrative VR adventure where you play as Samantha Burkhardt. Your late father left behind an abandoned amusement park, and your mother sends you to check on it. And of course, it's not just a creepy old fairground. There are mysteries, childhood memories, and something deeply unsettling hiding in the park. What makes this technically interesting is it uses redirected walking. So every real step you take translates directly into the game. I played games like this before, and it is a trip to physically move around your space but find yourself still in the same place. It's a cool concept. So your actual physical movement drives your exploration. And that's a pretty clever VR narrative design choice that you don't often see. I think this could be one of those quiet gems of April. It looks kind of quirky and interesting, and this one drops on the 16th of April on Quest and Steam. Alright, so imagine Gary's mod, but in VR. But built in Unreal Engine 5 with full physics and a modding community that's already building stuff. Beyond Sanbox is a multiplayer VR modding platform where you can play the in-house game modes like competitive shooters, zombie horde, or sandbox, or dive into whatever the community has already built using the Reality SDK. And because it's built on Unreal Engine 5, everything behaves super realistically. So when you throw something, how that thing should act. And this was originally supposed to launch in March, but the devs pushed it back to April 23 E3 because they want to make the best first impression they can, which I respect. And I've had my eye on this one for a while. I keep seeing their clips go viral on social media with their gruesome kills and realistic graphics. Is it maybe a bit too ambitious though? I'll guess we'll find out. It's coming to early access, so temper expectations accordingly, but the potential is there, especially when we know people love Blade and Sorcery. I think people will really gravitate to this game. This one comes out on Quest and Steam on April 23rd. Forefront has been in early access for a while now, but on April 23rd, it gets its full 1.0 release. And I've been saying it for a while now. I haven't tried this yet, but I know everyone keeps raving about it and telling me to try it. But maybe now's the time. Forefront is a 32-player large-scale VR shooter. It has land, sea, and air vehicles, real-time lighting updates for PC VR as well, and involves two fractions fighting over a global energy conflict. Think Battlefield, but in VR. And from what people who played the early access have said, it actually delivers on that promise. And I really should try this. I love Battlefield. I just keep getting distracted by other things. But if you like tactical multiplayer shooters and you've been waiting for Forefront to hit 1.0, April 23rd is the day. It's coming to Quest and PC VR, and PlayStation VR2 is in the works, but there's no confirmed date yet. Now, PC VR players, this one's for you. FlatOut 4 is a demolition derby racing game, and Flat to VR are bringing it to VR in early access. It has destructible environments, chaotic races, vehicle combat, and now you're sitting inside the car with a headset on. I'm not good at racing games, so the more chaotic, the better, because this game encourages you to hit things. Flat to VR have been seriously killing it this year between Wrath, RoboQuest, and now FlatOut. This is coming to early access, so it is a work in progress, but if you are a PC VR player looking for something completely different, it comes out on April 23rd on Steam. And now this game is probably my most anticipated game of the year. Little Nightmares VR Altered Echo is the first ever VR entry into the Little Nightmares franchise, which I love. And it's not a port. This is a brand new story. You play as Dark Six, a mysterious figure searching for a missing part of herself, moving through the twisted world of the nowhere in first person for the very first time. And that's what makes this so exciting. Little Nightmares has always been terrifying because of the scale. Everything is enormous and you feel tiny and vulnerable. But in VR and in first person, that feeling is going to multiply. Hands-on impressions from GDC describe the sense of scale as instantly overwhelming in the best possible way. It connects to the lore of both Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and it's built specifically for VR. Not adapted from a flat screen game. The game is developed by Iconic and published by Bandai Namco, and it drops on April 21st on Quest 2 and 3, PlayStation VR 2, and Steam VR. And this is my most anticipated game of the month. I just hope they can deliver on the graphics when they plan to support so many platforms. And rounding out the month, we have one more Delve. This is a physics-based dungeon crawler hack and slash, where you fight, loot, and explore alone or with up to 3 players in co-op. You can wield melee weapons, bows, shields, and spells against everything the dungeon throws at you. And it's been a highly anticipated release in the VR community for a while, and April 27th is finally the day it comes out. So if you've got friends on Quest 3 or Steam and you want a co-op game with some meat to it, keep an eye on this one. I'm personally a bit bored of hack and slash games in VR, but visually this looks interesting and the co-op mode would be pretty fun. Now this one is for the PlayStation VR 2 players out there. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is getting a free PlayStation VR 2 update this month as part of Sim Update 5. And this is a pretty big deal for PSVR 2 owners. You get the full game in VR, all 125 aircrafts, every cockpit, every instrument, and the team at Asobo completely rebuilt every single cockpit interaction for the Sense controllers. So every knob and every lever and dial is redesigned to feel natural in VR. They even use the eye track foveated rendering to hit a stable frame rate, which is exactly what you want in a flight sim. Early hands-on at FS Weekend said the PS5 version punches above its weight with PSVR 2 attached, and honestly, the fact that Microsoft is supporting PlayStation VR 2 while Sony itself has barely touched it is worth mentioning. I've been wanting to dabble in Sims for a while now because I know it's such a big part of VR. So let me know if Microsoft Flight Sim is a good starting point or if there's something else I should dabble in first. But if you already own the game on PlayStation 5, the update is free. There's no date confirmed beyond April, but it's worth keeping an eye on. And that's April! Honestly, one of the biggest months VR has had in a while. Actually, last month was big as well. VR's still popping off. I guess the cool part is there's a huge amount of variety and something for every type of player. player. Let me know in the comments which one you're most excited for. I think mine is Little Nightmares VR. But if you think I missed anything that should be on this list, let me know in the comments to help me out and some other people as well. But make sure you wishlist anything that catches your eye because it genuinely helps the developers. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!